Hello, hello, everybody. Hello, hello. What's up, everybody? I'm still in Laguna Beach with Jeremy, so we are going live again today. Yep, we're going live again. What's up, guys? Who's hopping in here today? Let's see what we got. Oh my gosh. Oh. Let's jump in here. Wow. I'll be honest, I'm not surprised. About to touch that 100 again. Let's go. I'm definitely going to put an alert on this 100. Because I think that'll be a good day trading opportunity. Boom. All right, all right. Who's jumping in here? Yes, yesterday's session was recorded. Who's hopping in? All right, guys. So tell me what have you guys been trading today? It looks like it's been a pretty fun day. I'm literally just getting to this. Kind of slept in, not gonna lie. This West Coast time. Oh my gosh, dude. I mean, this is the easiest trading day of all time. And actually, I'm actually pissed off I slept in because this right here, it doesn't get better than this. It just doesn't. For my system, at least. Because let me show you why. Market opens at 9:30. I don't trade the first hour. Oh, well, actually, that would have boned you a little bit. Because you would have wanted a short here. But you could have shorted at 10:15. That's long enough. 45 minutes, an hour. That's pretty similar. But what I would have done today is when we broke this pink line, I would have taken that short right there. Stop somewhere up in here. I don't really like to go more than like 50, 60 points on the NQ. Just don't. Target 1.3. And then I've been teaching you guys this a lot, but leave one contract running and don't close it until we get a close over the 5-minute 10 EMA. So, I mean, if you took this today with, let's say 10 micros, right? You would have made, let's see here. You would have made, what's 18 times, or no, I'm sorry, 16 times 79. So you would have made, wow, $1,200 on that trade. And then you'd still have 2 micros running, which would, the last 2 would be up an additional 167. So you'd be up almost $2,000 right now as it stands. Now, something to keep in mind here. We are getting awfully close to where we bounced last time. Right in here. Okay. Right there is where we bounced last time. So if we see some strength right here, I could, if I get like a double bottom, I could be interested taking this long back up into, oh, I don't know. Let's see. There. But let's see what we get, right? Oh my gosh. Socks-is since 12th of July. That's the triple inverse of the semiconductors, right? That's crazy, dude. Congrats. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So I'm going to log out of this for a second. Log out of that. What have you guys been trading today? I want to know. Let me know, guys. What have you been trading? Who's had some wins? What was the biggest win today? What was your guys' biggest win so far today? Sorry, I'm just getting things set up here on my computer. Give me 2 seconds, guys. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at everything right now. I'd also like to look at ES, just see what ES is doing. Very similar story. Okay, how about oil? Interesting. Let's see what oil's doing right now. Are we bouncing off any major moving averages? Weekly, okay. We're near the weekly 200. Ooh, that monthly 200 though? So oil long could be interesting. We are below that pink line though, so I'm not as excited about it. But we are looking like we're getting kind of a breakout here. Let's look at platinum. Platinum, we're above the pink line, but your entry should have been here. So you're pretty late. So I probably wouldn't take that. Like you'd already be hitting target right about now. Let's go back to NQ and focus on that. I think Jeremy will maybe agree with me. I'm not sure yet if he will, but I think he will. Well, Jeremy, why don't you come on in here?
What am I agreeing with you on, bro?
Well.
Uh-oh. Buying an account. We're buying an account.
I'm not showing this on screen because you know, I don't want people to see my info here.
Credit card?
Yeah.
Wow. That's a lot of money you have over here, bro.
Well, when I trade with you, it's hard not to be rich. Okay. So here's my thought process. Okay. Obviously the short was there this morning.
Oh my goodness.
Obviously.
Can you imagine having the strategy to short that?
The pink line crossover with multiple bull candles, multiple guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you didn't take that, just take the rest of the week off.
Question, is this the same strategy that you've been talking about every time you live stream?
Every time.
Every single time?
Every single time.
I love it.
But I've been integrating something lately where I say, if we get far enough away from it, and we're near something. This is the 100 SMA on the daily, where we've bounced before.
Yep,
we bounced back here.
Perfect, right on the nose.
And we get a 10 EMA set up here.
Yeah.
This could act as a magnet. Okay, I'm glad he agreed.
Down with that.
So we are. I mean, honestly, guys, that's close enough for me. I would feel comfortable setting up something like that.
Yeah.
If you want to be extra safe, put it below the 200. Or you could just put it there.
So so in this example, is there a long or short position tool in TradingView that helps with contracts of futures?
Yes, actually. And what I'm going to do right now for y'all is I'm going to log into my. I'm going to log in real quick. Give me 2 seconds here while I do this, guys. We're just going to log on in.
Boom.
Oh, it's not letting me log in yet. I just bought an account. It hasn't been set up yet, but we're going to go ahead and I'm just going to set it up on the old paper. So yes, you come over here, long position. That's what I just dropped right here. And then what you can do is once it's set up, you can right click it and create limit order. Now this is going to give you what you need to know here. So it's already calculating right here. If I did one contract, I'd be risking $1,100. Now, if that's too much for your account size, we need to go micros.
Yeah.
So I'd run over here to micros real fast. I'd set up the same thing, Bink, something like that, Bink, and then I would, Bink's my sound effect. And now I'm going to put in 5. So now you can see that's half the risk. So maybe your R is 500. Let's push it down to 4. Okay, 466. So we're kind of in between there. I'd opt for the higher of the two. And then you just got to make sure that you have the right order because it's going to be a stop buy if we break out of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then target. Yeah, 1.3. I like 1.3. 1.2, 1.3, 1.4. That's really up to you. I like 1.3 just because 3 is my favorite number.
33 is your favorite number.
Yeah, which is why I got 1.33.
Oh,
yeah.
Filthy.
Yeah. So
Filthy. Okay.
I could, if I press this, you'll see the order set up. Okay. And there's the order. Now, this could totally continue to dump. It does not have to turn around right here.
So wait, I'm confused. Are you saying that if it doesn't go above your buy stop, you don't get triggered into the trade?
No, because that's the rules of the 10 EMA that you created.
Oh, I see.
And it's actually pretty nice right here because it's like 2 inverted hammers. So if we overtake that would be really bullish. But guys, the bears are out here today.
Yeah,
so don't think that you can call the bottom because you probably can't. What I'm saying is if we get something like this, like a nice double bottom and then a break above, consider it. But be fast because the bears are out here.
The bears are partying.
These guys threw the party today.
Yeah.
So if you try to come into their party and pull some bullshit, they might clap you.
The bears are there.
The bears are here. So, and you can see right now where it looks like we're about to break this low. So let me just clear this off so we can just see it better. And we just made a new low. So, but like I said, let's go back to this. Let's because I drew it on the NQ, but not the MNQ. I just want to draw. Guys, we haven't actually touched the 100 yet. Keep that in mind as well.
Very close.
So it's still in play for a bounce. I know we bounced here near it, but we haven't actually touched it yet.
Yeah, we'll have to go a few points lower than that just to trap people who do buy too aggressively off that price. And then
You think like down here-ish?
No, we'll still draw the line, but then you would just look to do a limit.
So what Jeremy's saying is the double bottom could form like that.
Yeah.
Just to really mess with people.
Yep.
Because these guys love to mess with people. I'd say these guys like to mess with people more than these guys.
Yeah.
What do you think?
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
so we're going to be patient. I'm going to set an alarm on this guy. MNQ crossing.
Yeah, how do you set an alert?
So you want to do the instrument crossing the moving average, which is crossing the, no, you don't have to do that. Sorry. This is just a line. So you can just right click the line and say crossing. If you want to do it on the moving average though, you click the moving average and you do MNQ crossing the 100. Okay.
There you go.
So now I have both set up.
2 alarms.
Because this line ain't going to move, guys, but this is.
I learned from Green Berets that 1 is none.
1 is none.
Always better to have 2.
So there's the green line. There's our pink guy up there. Ooh, whoa. Easy now. Easy now, Calvin. Don't be doing that. All right. So here's our thing. I'll leave this. How long would you leave this order on before you cancel it?
I usually leave an order open for around 20, 25 minutes or so. Flip it. Let's flip that. There we go. There it is.
When this finishes.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make sure you don't cheat by doing that. Then we'll cancel it.
All right.
All right. Talk to the people, Jeremy.
Family. How are we doing? By the way, I got the stream up. If anyone has any questions, please throw it in the chat pane. John, glad you're here. Ivo, hope you're doing amazing. Eduardo, hello.
I got the chat pane right here too. Isn't that nifty? Right there in OBS.
Nifty. Yeah. It's direct into OBS.
Yes, sir.
That's very pretty.
I know.
So question, ladies and gentlemen, what positions are you buying from an asset standpoint? Keep in mind, it's always scary to buy on down days, but I do believe that this is going to be a good opportunity to purchase some positions. Here's the cues. And again, very, very nice pullback. Just a small reminder that going into the election, If you are not a United States trader, that's absolutely okay. But we have a big election for a new president in November. Usually the summer months are a little bit weaker from a trend, movement, growth perspective.
Why is that?
I think the reason probably is, truthfully, it's hot.
Vacation time?
Vacation time. A lot of traders, people who are aggressive, me included, we like to spend time with our family. Kids are out of school, right? With the whole just USA culture. June and July, oftentimes kids are out of school for the majority of the families here. And so that way you're traveling, you're not in front of your computers as much, you're not going to be as active and circulating money as often. Also, New York City is the hottest place in the world and the coldest place in the world.
It really is.
New York City is so
New York stinks in the summer.
Unbelievably
it's like
bad.
Trash,
It's
like,
gross.
I don't know how it's so humid up there. It's so north.
It's so awful in the summer and it's terrible in the winter. So I personally probably will never live in New York City. But saying all that to say, right, the New York Stock Exchange, is in New York. Yeah. So when you're talking about all the people that have vibed with that energy, sell in May and go away has always been one of those popular terms. Now, if you sold this May and went away, that wasn't a good idea. You can see that it went lower. But this is a really great representation of selling into strength. Mm-hmm. Because what a lot of individuals and traders may do is they have a hard time knowing when to sell positions. One of my favorite times to sell positions is definitely at all-time highs, number one. Number two, at new all-time highs. So new highs, new all-time highs, and of course, kind of like Calvin said, I don't know why his favorite number is 33%, but mine's probably pretty close. 30% is really the price where I will begin to sell a lot of my positions or portfolio positions, because 30% is a lot. 30% is a really, really big number, family. And ultimately, when you're talking about retirement accounts, when you're talking about bigger position trading, when you're discussing, having $100,000 of capital into the market, 30% is quite significant. And when you're talking about in a year, a lot of people might press that gas pedal a little too hard for that 1 year of time, because you can capture 30%. Maybe it takes 4 to 5 to 6 months. The other 6 months, you do not have to be as aggressive. You do not have to be as active. And that is what I'm doing presently right now. You might all remember I luckily went to cash here at 500 on the... It seems like a good idea now.
I think there's something going on.
Dude, that was...
No, tell us. What, like...
Pure luck.
No.
Pure luck.
I don't buy it.
Yeah.
He knows somebody. He'll never tell us, but he knows somebody.
That was nice though, right?
He's got this like secret cell phone on his desk, and he picks it up and he's like, okay, I won't say 503. I'll say 500 so it's not too suspicious. Right? But Jeremy, what I'm curious is, you mentioned earlier in the call, well, just 10 minutes ago, you said that this could be a good buying opportunity. I drew one level that just stands out to me, right?
Yeah.
You've got resistance here, and then you have that hammer here.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, that's kind of a nice buying area. Mm-hmm. I agree. We could agree that would probably be as well.
Yeah, totally. So these two spots, again, on the Qs, I am repositioning back into my portfolio. So again, let's say you have whatever, family, $50,000. It's like, it's very easy to say, okay, cool, I'm gonna put all my $50,000 right here, hope for the best. Mm-mm. I generally wouldn't personally do that myself. What I would do is put $5,000 to $10,000 of that 50 here, wait a week. Right? Give it some time, see what it does. And then after a week goes by, I don't do that for return capacity. I do that for nervous system capacity. Most traders, you find yourself probably too stressed out, probably too panicky, probably too worried about your positions. And oftentimes when you get into a position when it's dropping, since you will never call the bottom, just like I'll never call the top, when you're doing that, you're naturally going to be losing. And so if you're buying a position and you start losing the position, you think that you're doing something wrong, and therefore you panic and you get out of the position too quickly. The way you avoid that is by buying low and buying slow. When markets are dropping, don't try to be the hero and put your $50,000 in here.
It makes sense. It's kind of like easing into something. Like,
Yeah.
Like if, I mean, this guy, he runs like these crazy events, like 100-mile races. When you first got that idea, were you like, oh, I'm just going to go try to do a 100-mile race today? Or were you like, let me try 10 and see how that feels?
Yeah.
Okay, I could do that.
Yep.
And then you did 20.
Yep.
And then eventually you did 30. And then you were like, you know, maybe this weekend I'll try 50.
Yeah.
And then at some point it's just like, all right, we just got to do it. And you do the full 100.
Correct. And so it's a slow, steady progression with anything, with fitness, with dieting. A lot of people, when they diet and they try to change their diet.
Break that low just now.
So pretty.
Crazy, dude.
Yeah, when people diet very often, they just go full tilt and they're like, all right, no carbs, no caffeine, no sugar, no joy. And they just cut everything out of their life.
No joy.
Right.
All right. So running back into our trade setup here, we have swiftly broken the 100 now.
Very pretty.
I probably would cancel this at this point. It's pretty far away. And because here's my reasoning. If we come up right now, likelihood is we're going to get a reset anyways. A 10 EMA reset.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take
waiting.
this off. And I was talking to them earlier, right before you came in here, about how something I've been doing lately is I will take a trade, right? So, and this doesn't work on a lot. This really works on trending days only, where like you get this beautiful. But I'll take a trade here, right? Something like that. I'll target 1.3. But let's say I have multiple contracts. Let's say I have like, I don't know, 4 NQs on. So I'll take 3 of them off here. And then what I'll do is I'll switch to the 5-minute. And until we get a close back over the 10, I just won't close the last contract. I'm already up a lot.
Yeah.
And I'll just see what happens. And like most days, you're not going to see this like insane waterfall. But when it does happen, oh my gosh, you can make 1,200 here and then make another 1,200 just off that last contract. Just something I've been practicing lately. Just letting one runner go. Because what I find is I talk to a lot of people, and this question gets asked a lot. How many trades do you take a day, and when do you stop? And I'm like, and I always tell people, so I take 2 trades max a day, and here's how it works. If I win on the first trade, I'm usually done.
Yep.
Just done. If I have a small win or a loss, I'll consider taking a second. Now, on the second trade, if I win, done. If I lose on the second trade, so if it's lose, done. But a lot of people are like, okay, but how do you ever like... So the problem is some people go, well, what if, you win on day 1 and then on day 2 you take 2 losses. Now you're like down. Well, this is how I combat that a little bit. I will let a runner go. And sometimes that ends up being 2.5 hours on the day because I won on the first one and then my second one ran all the way down here. So it's everyone's, and I know you sometimes, if you win and then you see a really juicy setup, you'll just risk half on the second one. So everyone's a little different, but man, look at this, dude.
Yeah, it's really, really cool.
This is, you call that cool?
Yeah, super cool. Super cool.
See, he's retrained his like neuro. Like a lot of people look at this and they think this is horrible, right? They see the color red and they think it's horrible, but you've kind of done some inner healing work to look at red and love it.
I love red, man. I love red. I love green. I love black. I love white. I love all the colors of the markets for sure. Because again, it's just opportunities.
Black.
I see the opportunities is what I'm seeing. But yeah, I love the trim and trail approach. I think that makes tons and tons of profits, and it does allow people to stay in positions longer.
But not always, right? Sometimes you're just going to get chopped out, and it's better to sell into strength too, right?
Yeah, it is. But again, I think a lot of it will come down to what every single person watching this needs to do is you pick something and you just do that thing with no, what's the word I'm looking for? With no change, with no shifting for a period of time, usually 3 months. So you pick 3 months and you go for these 3 months, especially if you want to trade as a career. You say to yourself, all right, I'm going to work on and specialize this portion of my plan to make sure that I can follow my rules. Whatever those rules are. So I get into a position, I hit 1.3 risk units, I hold one of my positions until it trails out with a close above the 10 EMA on the 5-minute chart. great example of knowing precisely whatever a plan is. Once you have a plan, stick to it, keep it for a period of time, don't deviate, don't change it, stay with 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 it. After those 3 months are over, or whatever time period you chose, and the time period needs to be a little uncomfortable, it needs to be a little bit longer than like a week.
Yeah.
Once you pick, you then go over on a weekend or something, you go over all of your results and all of your trades with that rule, and you just ask yourself what would work better. All right, what would be so pretty?
I have a little order at 133 just because 33.
Yeah.
I got to add a little bit.
Yeah.
I'd have to.
Yeah, you have to.
Because it's my number.
Yeah, have to.
But this 120 level is really...
It's a great purchase.
You got a limit buy there?
I do. Yeah, I set one up the other day.
Dirty.
10 shares at 120. That's before earnings. So if it happens while earnings is tonight. After earnings, I'll review it, and then I'll see what it needs to do. Mm-hmm. Yeah, if we gap down on AMD tomorrow, so our AMD earnings are tonight, family. If we gap down on AMD into here, it'll be a very, very, very nice fade, meaning it'll gap down, trade up. I don't actually think that's going to happen. I believe that AMD is going to have a small gap up on earnings, and then it will trade back down. That's what I think. I don't think, yeah.
So you think that the earnings will put in a lower high, basically?
Yeah. Yep. So I
Because
think
we haven't really had a lower high here in a second. We've just been dumping.
dumping.
So
yeah.
gap up and then the next
Yeah.
leg down.
Yeah, I think we gap up to 140. I will then at that point probably sell some calls up here. I'll get a put. I'll let it retest. So this is again my
So you'll sell calls but buy a put?
collar strategy, right?
Ooh.
Sell calls, buy puts. Let the trade rotate back down, go to 120, and then I will really, really, really pick up some aggressive positions down there on AMD.
I don't even want to know how many shares that is, but
2,000 is the goal. Yeah, 2,000 is the
there
goal.
you go, guys. 2,000.
This was a really, so I was picking up on this dumpage over here. Same thing you probably remember.
I remember, yeah.
Right?
I remember he was calling 150 for a while.
Yeah. So when this 150 position hit, and again, just to zoom back in here, to reiterate, on this day, this went down to 146. So when I bought at 150, letting you all know, you never call the bottom. It rallies to 160. 3 bull candles in a row, sold some calls, bought some puts, dumpage on earnings, right? Because you got to protect yourself over earnings. When that came in and then we closed above that volume, I picked up some more shares. It rallies, collar, boom, boom, boom.
And you put the collar on here. I remember this because he didn't tell me this, but he put the collar on here because we hit the 100, right?
Correct. Yeah.
So it's an obvious spot to start.
Obvious spot to
You
get
got to protect yourself, and either you're going to close it or protect it, right?
Yeah.
Because it's 100.
Yeah, and the collar ended up working out, and then I had no protection here, and then when it started pumping, and this is about when I went to cash, I think my whole portfolio.
So you weren't called away with another collar here. You just went to cash.
Just exited.
What a baller!
Yeah, just exited.
And then look at that, just meltdown.
Unbelievable.
Like really kind of surprising. I thought we were going to get more of a bounce off the 200, but
Well, so a lot of people are calling for an AI bubble. And,
whoa,
yeah.
Wait,
So
I was going to buy at 100. I need to buy some.
Yes.
Okay, hold on,
100. Great little spot to set up a position. Nvidia was at 140, right? June. So you're getting it for a $40 discount. Huge double top, really, really beautiful breakdown, gorgeous amount of selling. This gap will fill right here. But again, what I love about studying charts, and I'm trying to remember, I'm going to do 2 examples for you here, maybe even 3. If you're still watching the stream, write this one down. Type in a 1 if you're hitting me with some stream love. Here's a very, very useful aspect of the market that you can remember for a very long time. When a stock announces a split, be bullish, buy into the split. Once the split gets announced, be a net seller. That's a strategy that I've incorporated for a very, very long time. You can see NVIDIA, right, ran up into the split announces really here. And then it has, you never call the top. It has a few more days of push and then crash.
Wow. Look at that double top.
Really, really nice one. All right, so here's another example is Chipotle, ticker symbol CMG. Okay, runs up, split gets announced. You'll notice it runs up into the split, right? Coming up in here. And then as the split happens, This is also a pretty interesting reversal pattern. Here's the split. Very, very nice hammer. And you all probably remember one of my rules in candlestick strategies is if you ever have a really nice hammer and we close below the low of that hammer the next day, it's a very, very bear signal. Very, very bear position.
Because it's just like everyone gave up.
Yeah, everyone gave up.
Immediately.
And then the low of that hammer becomes a very good resistance. We'll actually go and look at an NQ trade that had the exact same sentiment yesterday that Calvin played. Low of the hammer gets taken out immediately. Very, very good shorting opportunity. The low of that hammer will become a good old support, new resistance. And so it becomes a really, really great spot to reshort a position if you get stopped out.
So you got in on that retest.
I did not. No,
but like you would have.
Yeah.
And then taking it down into the 100 probably.
Yeah. And then,
for a shorter trade.
Mm-hmm, exactly. So then one more split example, and then we'll go look at the NQ thing that I just mentioned. Here's Amazon. And I know that you're like, Amazon had to split? It's like, it did a while ago. Do your research. Okay, so here's Amazon.
Amazon had a huge split.
20-1.
Like
20-1.
I don't know if you guys remember, but Amazon used to trade at like $3,000 for like ever.
Yeah. So notice, right, big selling event. They announced the split. Guess what happens?
Runs.
Look at this. Print. Split gets announced. Meow.
Literally like the exact same thing back down.
Exact same thing. It happens very, very often. I mean, it's like a high 60%.
Tesla did that too back in 2020.
I know all the splits. I can show them all to you. Yes.
Yeah.
The big one on Tesla was really incredible.
Well, because Tesla had two, right? Pretty short next to each other. Like I think within a year. It
I still don't know why they split here. I haven't figured that one out. That's an Elon thing probably. But the big split announcement that made me the most money and a lot of other people the most money was this one. I'll show you the exact
there
day.
It is.
Yeah. I'll show you the exact day they announced the split though. So they announced the split on this day. Yeah. I remember that because I bought perfect gap and go, crushed. But again, just from a technical analysis standpoint and patterns, you're making new house money here if you're good. They announce the split. What happens? Sorry, not announced. The split actually happens. The split actually happens, and you get a sell off. It's a very, very popular pattern.
Yeah.
So just know that as you guys go forward. Since we were talking about the NQ stream and we were discussing it yesterday, and we'll show you the trade that Calvin posted and that we were talking about in pretty good detail yesterday. Is here.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Okay. So really, really nice hammer. You actually have two here on NQ. So again, this is the long that we played yesterday that we had to flip to a short. So very, very nice lower shadow. Very, very nice lower shadow. You get a trap, absolute dump. Right? Bear. Strong bear. We close below those lower shadows. The lower shadows of those hammers become the old support, new resistance. Almost and literally perfectly. That would have been the place that I would have done a limit sell, and that's the place that Calvin did a limit sell. And
you got the 10 EMA.
Correct. And then if you didn't short there on the retest, and then when I say retest, meaning you're literally doing a limit sell here, right? You have your order here. When these candles are coming in, right? When these bull candles are coming in, you are setting up a limit sell. So you are selling into the strength of this move. You are selling high, buying low. You do not know if it's going to reverse. You essentially pray, okay? And prayers sometimes work. So here's the big move. 4 bulls in a row. You're shorting literally off the lows of the hammers. That's really your signal candle there. It begins to work, which is nice. But again, even if you're like Newsom, I would never do that. I'm too scared. That's okay. Here's your 10 EMA signal. Right? First bull below, so then you short below the low of this candle and below the low of this candle to make sure both are trapped. Enter here, stop there, and it's a wrap. That's a very, very high quality trade. Again, based on the hammers, based on the 50. Yeah.
That's kind of how I did it.
Yeah.
I waited a little bit.
That's okay.
But it still worked.
It was a great trade. We went long. Long didn't work. No big deal. Ended up breaking down. Really nice retest. And so to remind everyone, these hammers are the reason that I felt so good with the short. Nothing else. If those hammers were not there and those lower shadows were not there, I probably would not have shorted that position.
You wouldn't have been as confident.
I wouldn't have been as confident. Now, are you able to show me where the 50, your magical 50 is?
So this is what you're seeing here, guys. Is a lot of lines, but this red line is
The dash one?
is VWAP. The orange one is the 50. The purple one is the 20, and actually on this the blue is the 9. But you can see we came up and ran into all of them.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
strong close below VWAP. All the moving averages come up. They're all kind of crossing, and we run right into that and the hammers. It's just a mess.
Yeah.
And you're just like, let's try it out.
Yeah.
You know, and your stop can be way up here or even here or here, right?
Yeah. Could be. Sure.
And then dump town.
Yeah. And then you end up getting a second bull candle, which is really nice. Then you get the hammer. So you see there's the hammer here. And then we close below it immediately.
Again.
So that's your signal that this is
In
going to
that
be
one.
Yeah. This is a signal that's going to be a lot of selling. Anytime you get good hammers and you get a close below the low of those candles immediately, it's a pretty bad sign.
That's
for the
crazy,
bulls.
dude.
Yeah, it's a really. I like that. It's not even a strategy; it's just the sentiment, reading and understanding. Any questions from the stream? Let's see. Kevin says, "Is your 10 EMA rule fractal?" You got it, legend. That is correct. In fact,
Fractal.
here's a daily fractal of the 10 EMA. Are you ready to poop your pants? Here you go, dude. First bull candle below the 10.
I'm not ready to put my pants.
Don't do it. It's not good. So you get your first bull. This is the daily chart on the NQs. Can you imagine shorting there? So that's your first bull below the 10. These two are bull candles. They're just not the first one. So this is not, quote unquote, the 10 EMA strategy. Now, the next series of candles, you might go, well, when do I get the opportunity to go long? Well, we have to wait a while until we get a bear candle above the 10 EMA. And from the perspective of a bull trade, this would have been on the Qs, your first bear candle above the 10 EMA. Obviously, you can see how well that would have worked. Once we close back below the moving average here, we do that with a different color. Once we close back below the moving average there, that's the reset of the count. Because at that point, now you can get any color, any direction, up or down, doesn't matter. We end up not getting anything, and then we get a new bear above the 10 EMA. So that would have been a second entry, or I should say an additional entry if you're not already in to go bullish. And then you get no reset of the count, until here. This is a close below the moving average, reset of the count. You can go any direction now. Bear above would be the first, or bull below would be the first. There's your bull below. There's the short, and there's the dump. Yeah, really, really, really effective strategy. Very, very nice. Very easy, and it works a lot. Let me show you a swing trade I took on Shopify with the 10 EMA trade. I did exit for a very small gain. This was not a big winner. No one's bragging about this trade. So here is Shop, but let's just look at it. Type in a 7 in the chat pane. If you can see that cute cookie, you get bull below the 10. Also, look at this really, really nice bull gap and go powerful volume that gets absolutely road smoked instantly. So again, when things happen with speed and certainty, that's always a really good signal. Volume was huge on that day. And it closes below really, really dramatically, really strongly.
Very dramatically.
Oh, the next day.
I'm curious where the I mean,
That's so weird.
at that point, I can't. I have nothing to say.
Nothing to say.
That's.
Yeah.
I'm just not going to talk.
Don't talk.
You can see what happened here, guys. We gapped up
Love the movie.
into a crossover.
Yeah.
Which actually, this doesn't happen that often. Usually the crossovers are delayed. Right here, it was like a stone wall.
Yeah. Stonewall Jackson. Yeah. And again, to reiterate, family, I'm not shorting on this candle.
Right.
I would short, and I didn't short here, but if I'm watching it, I would really, really like to short below this candle. But again, here was my sentiment walkthrough. Here's what I was thinking. This was a real time. This was an actual trade that I did.
The turkey noise you made. It's just really, it just now processed.
We got you. We got you.
Yeah.
So here's the candle, big volume. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this could go higher, right? Really, really nice move. And this is when the if-then statement is so powerful. if, and I'm going to do another example on this on another stock in 2 minutes, so stay tuned. If we take out this volume, if we take out this candle, it's at a major level being the long terms, it's going to get absolutely smoked. So the very next candle,
yeah, that's serious.
So,
and I think I saw a level back. If you zoom out just a little bit, I mean,
yeah,
we kind of filled that
fill
gap,
the gap,
too, right?
Yeah. So now, again, I didn't short here because I came up with my if-then statement. I said, if we take out this, then I will have a lot more of a bearish sentiment. Another bear candle comes in. Notice the support here. Pink, to quote Calvin. And then this candle comes in. So here's your bull candle, Kevin. To again, reiterate the fractal question. For all those in the stream, hit me with that 8. Is this the first bull candle below the 10 EMA? Yes or yes? And you can see how nice that is. That's really, really pretty. Again, you had the if-then statement from back over here. You had the failing of the volume. You had the failing of the long-term moving averages. You're at a little bit of a support level. First bull below, and it was the easiest short of my life. Entry here, stop here, target here. Now, what's cool is to play this in real time. I did exit this trade for a win because this did not hit my target and it started reversing away from my target.
Because you had the support here.
Yeah. And I got scared. I was a giant chicken. I thought earnings was a lot closer than it was. So I panicked and whatever. I still made 0.6 R, so I'm not going to cry about it. But that was a really, really nice trade. Now, to reiterate the volume piece, because again, volume is the key that you're missing in your trading. When you understand volume, everything in your whole life will change. Facts. CrowdStrike, CRWD. Now, CrowdStrike, to get dirty with it, we go back in time, pull up these long-term averages. Where's your long-terms?
S.
S. Okay.
Oh, wow.
So, again, to just reiterate some key points here, let's not worry about anything else over here. Let's not even talk about how obvious the failing of that volume is, because that's an irrelevant topic. That's just too easy. You'd make too much money knowing that. Let's talk about this. Everyone here remembers the CrowdStrike debacle. Planes are shut down. The whole world collapses. It's a sneak peek into World War Z. Big gap down. Now, huge volume. Type in a 6 if you agree that we are at a level. Are we at a level here? And the answer is yes, right? We are at a level. And the level is simply the 200 simple moving average on the daily chart, AKA the 200 SMA. And so now, what would be the if-then statement, Cal?
If.
Okay.
Big if.
Okay, yeah, because it's probably not going to happen.
If we close below all this volume and this candle, which would also be closing below the 200, I would take it short.
Okay, perfect. So we have the if then. We don't know what's going to happen. It probably will not, but we have created a plan based on 3 things: candle, volume, levels. Very easy, very replicatable. All of you can do this. I took that trade. I'm in long. Next day, I get out of my long. Why do I get out of my long? Well, just for exactly what Calvin just said. If all those bulls get totally murked, they're going to be selling. It's a lot of buyers to sell.
Well, and that's a gap and go, right?
It's also a gap and go. We opened below the 200. I got out around open, took an L, moved on about my day. Now, really, really strong gap. So with this particular type of gap, below this level, trapping this volume, trapping this candle, what would you expect, family? Higher or lower from here? Calvin, what do you think?
Lower.
Why?
I mean, not only did we take out the bull volume, it's greater.
Ooh, rare to see a huge volume spike get decimated by a larger volume spike the next day. Normally, bulls and bears get really pissed off because the volume that takes out their volume is less. And they're like, what the heck? Why is someone who weighs half as much as me, benching twice as much as me. This is annoying. And they can't figure it out. Well, on this day, they're like, oh, okay, bigger person, stronger person benches more than me. I guess I just have to give up and go to the gym more and eat some protein. That's what happens here. And so when that volume actually gets taken out with more volume, it's really a slap in the face. But not only is it a slap in the face, it's also a slap in the face from someone you're not going to do anything about.
It's like a gorilla walking in.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh,
I'm done. Well, I'm not going to fight this person. I have lost. And a little bit of a retest, and it's game over.
Today, gosh, that is an actual gorilla, not even a human.
Now, let me ask a question, Cal. So on the example that I've been talking about buying small share size, are you allowed in your broker to also short small share size as well?
Yeah.
Could you have been in 15 shares short on this trade?
Yeah, test the waters, as you say.
Could you have tested the waters with small share size?
I think so.
So if, as an example, when this candle comes in, you took an L on this day, right? You're out, and you're like, all right, I would like to see what it's going to do. Could you pop in here and go, I'm going to sell 6 shares?
Yeah.
Is that legally allowed?
Yes.
Brokers will allow that.
Yes.
Okay. So you're in 6 shares. Now, is 6 shares going to change your life?
No, but I mean, if you're right, could buy a nice dinner.
Could buy a nice dinner. And the more you do a small position pyramiding, the more you begin to interact with the market slowly, consistently, with confidence, what begins to happen? You build, you trust, you understand, you learn. Next day, you're like, oh, wow, it looks cool. Sell another 6, right? Now it's working in your direction. You're happy about that. Oh, it's chilling. Oh, it's chilling. You're like, oh, you know what? Whatever. I'm going to sell another 6. So you're in 18 shares. No big deal. I don't know, guys. It's kind of a big deal, right? With this drop, oh, it exited me on that day?
Oh, you bought.
Oh, because it's in real time.
Whatever. You'd be up a few hundred. Right
Yeah,
now.
you're up $300-400 is what I'm trying to get at. So again, is $300-400 going to change your life? No, not yet, but it will pay your car bill.
Oh my gosh, look at this dump.
Dude, it's going to go a lot lower.
Ooh.
Right into there, guaranteed.
Yummy.
That is a matter of time. And then it'll bounce. That's a good spot to buy CrowdStrike too.
For sure, because you got both right there.
200 at the 200, that's how much I'm going to buy.
And we're near
200 at 200 at the 200. It's too many numbers. I can't.
That's cool. That's like numerology stuff.
Yeah.
What do you guys want to look at? Name a couple stocks.
Meta. I want to look at Meta. What's Meta going to do? If you want to hit us up with more questions, hit us up with more questions, fam. What is Meta going to do?
Hold on now, mister. We have an unfilled gap. We have the 200. We have earnings coming up. Oh, man. I mean, we have this high. Me personally, Jeremy?
Yep.
And we also have this balancing spot here. If you put a gun to my head and said, I have to make money on this, I would probably just do this.
That's a brilliant trade.
Set up a pyramid there, like that, because you have this high. You have this. You have this. You have this. I mean, probably gonna bounce at some point in there. And guess what, guys? A lot of you, I get this a lot on YouTube. People are like, "Oh, the pyramid," but like, where's your stop, Calvin? I'll be honest with you. Sometimes I don't run a stop because if Meta truly does this and just keeps melting, when it does bounce, I'm going to get out here and I'm going to take it short off the 200.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, it's not realistic. Well, hold on. Before you start getting all judgy on me, I'd like to go back to here because this is relevant right now. Okay. So by the way, Jeremy called this top as well. Before the bear market started. I remember that distinctly. But for example, let's say you're running the pyramid strategy and you buy off the 100, you get smoked. You buy off the 200, you get smoked. Mm-hmm. But your average is somewhere around here.
Yeah.
You come down what does it do? It retests. You get out basically at break even, maybe a small loss, and you short off the 200 and you make $1 zillion.
Sure.
And then it comes up and you do it again. So don't tell me it doesn't work, guys.
Yeah, it can work for sure.
So same thing here on Meta is what I'm saying. I'm gonna try. I have to try. So I'm gonna buy some here and some here at this level and whatever. And if it just doesn't bounce here and it comes down to here and we come back up here, I'll short off the 200.
Yeah.
It's really messy on the screen, but you get it.
Yeah, we get it. And then we can come over here and look at this example of before it really started to free fall. And again, let's just hypothetically say that Calvin does what he mentioned, either here or here and or here, both of these positions, it gets a little bit nasty, but then it recovers nicely.
Well, the first time it worked pretty well.
First time it's working beautiful.
Second time,
even then, second time you're still making money. And on this one, you would have absolutely needed, again, earnings. Earnings is coming. You're below the moving averages. They've now crossed. You have 5 months of lower highs. So you're either
and lower lows.
and lower lows. So you're either bailing, taking a small loss, depending on your cost basis, or you're learning some strategies and you're protecting yourself with a collar, right? And so if you have over 100 shares, you are selling calls, buying puts. If you don't have over 100 shares, you are maybe buying one put. And again, if you don't have over 100 shares, you are either just planning on waiting it out for the rest of your natural born life until Meta goes higher because it makes $45 billion of revenue a quarter, or not. And you get out for a small loss because its earnings is coming up and you don't want to be in a position you can't protect over earnings. So that's really what we're talking. I mean, the strategy works, but again, the key is he's doing this on Meta, which is a company that we all use, right? Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. 100%. You all use it.
Can we look at Tesla?
Yep. Let's look at Tesla. Filling the gap from yesterday, pulling back a little bit.
Okay. Let me just get this nice and pretty. I mean, my two spots to buy a lot are here and here.
Yeah.
That's just me.
Yeah. Same. So what happened is Tesla failed the 200 on the weekly right there.
Which I'm not surprised because we melted right through on the way up.
Right. Not surprised at all. So, we retested into that level. Right here is the 100 on the weekly and the 100 on the daily. The 200 on the daily. So 200 on the daily, 100 on the weekly. It is a good spot to buy. And if we kind of slowly get down into there, again, you are above all moving averages on all major time frames. Really good 40% move. This pullback is natural, and then I would expect something like this. It's going to take time. It always does. It's going to take longer than you want. It always does.
But not that long, right?
It should take
a couple months, max?
4 or 5 months.
Okay, 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, 4 or 5 months. So let it kind of chop around to those long terms. I did sell some covered calls on Tesla.
You did. You sold them up like here, right? Something like that?
Yeah, 240.
240?
240. Cool. Yeah, on half of my shares. So I got some 240.
I copied him.
Yay!
Because he told me to do it.
Well, but again, now you're not hurting as bad.
And yeah, you're like, okay, I can get paid a little bit while I wait.
While I wait. And then you take the cash that you make from the covered call and you buy more shares. Exactly. Especially if you're in the TSLL, you can buy
That's what I'm in, guys.
You can buy 20 shares.
Yeah, so I'm in the TSLL. Obviously, the moving averages are going to look different on this because because it's leveraged by 2. So I would always refer to the actual instrument Tesla to look at moving averages. So I'm just going to turn these off for a second so we don't confuse you. But yeah, I mean, I sold the 14 strike. That was sort of the equivalent for me of 240.
Yeah. Yeah. Makes perfect sense.
Yeah. But man, look at NVIDIA today, dude.
Yeah, NVIDIA is really, really pretty. Really pretty. It's at 102, nice little lower shadow. We're going to start to get a little.
That. Mm-hmm. That is just
beautiful level. Beautiful level to own some NVIDIA. Well, team, hey, thanks so much for hanging out with us. Appreciate you spending the last hour with us. We're going to continue to help with your trading, your position sizing, your timing, your analysis. Ooh. Yes.
I always like to leave them with like one maybe trade before we go.
This is the maybe trade right here. You have 2 10 EMA bear candles at the 100 on the daily.
Let's see if I can log into my account yet. Sometimes, guys, lately, be patient with Apex. They're really backed up on everything. So, because it's just overwhelming demand. But there we go. My account's live now. So
We brought too many people to them. That's what happened.
So you could.
Limit buy.
You could. I mean, I would just get it
Because you already Tinian made. Yeah.
Would you put your stop that low or not necessary? Maybe here.
Yeah, right there.
Or there.
Anywhere in there is fine.
Right there. How about that, sir?
That works.
Okay. So I could create a limit order. And once again, I can see what I'm risking here. So for me personally, in a $50,000 account, I like to risk about $1,000. We're right at the entry. So I'm just going to mark it in. And we'll see how this goes. You know?
It's at a great level. Is that the price that you're talking about?
I'm just going to go to 1.33, guys. 1.3. Oh,
love it.
No, 1.33. Put it right there. And now we'll see what happens. And you can see I'd be taking profit right around there.
Yeah.
We'll see. But guys, the only reason I'm doing this, because some of you were like, I love it. Like whenever I go on the internet, people are like, you're contradicting yourself. You said if we're below the pink line, only go short. I know. You can slap me on the wrist, but this is the 100 simple moving average. We're not here a lot. It doesn't happen a lot. This is our first time actually touching it. We actually didn't touch it back here. The moving average was like down here back then. We touched it. We went below it, which is exactly what Jeremy said would happen. They would play some games.
Yep.
We had strong buying out of there. And I'm already up $100. So
and I got 2 Tinian May candles.
Right, I got 1, 2, I'm about to have 3. And yeah, guys, I don't know. Like sometimes the pink line, like when you get far enough away from it, it does act as a magnet.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
For example, here.
Right.
Oh, near the same level when we ripped back towards it.
Right.
Oh. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So just you like a lot of times people get so it's good to follow your rules. I'm not saying don't follow your rules. Absolutely follow your rules. But sometimes people get so freaking like this on their rules that they forget like the market is organic too.
Sure. But you can easily build in alternatives. Yeah. Right? You can say, all right, well, if this is happening, then I can start considering to do this.
The old if.
If then, ladies and gentlemen, my favorite rule, my favorite portion of my plan. Know how to follow your rules like an engineer. Know when to break them like an artist. See you later, family. You're the best.
Bye.